And she sang A Dream by DeBarge. Oh my goodness. Bunny DeBarge would have been proud. A product is called the Lettrice Lawrence collection. I like to make jewelry. Sometimes it takes 20 years. Sometimes it takes 10 years. Sometimes it takes a year.
Welcome to Indie Soul Rhythms, where soul meets rhythm. I'm your host, Moochie Alfonso, and tonight we have someone truly special joining us. She's a powerhouse vocalist, songwriter, actress, producer, and a humanitarian with a heart that shines as bright as her voice. We are talking about the incredible Lettrice Lawrence. Her new single, All of My Help, I found out this morning, has been selected by the Grammy board as part of the first ballot process. Latrice, welcome back to Indie Soul Rhythms. It's such a pleasure having you joining us tonight.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing. So you've had such an incredible journey as a professional world recording artist, actress. Remind us, because we have spoken in the past, just remind us what first inspired you to pursue music and performance.
Well, what first inspired me is my mom. My mom was a singer and she was a minister as well. And my parents were real supportive. And I attended Dublin Elementary School in Los Angeles. And we took a trip when I was 9 years old to see Lena Horne, her sophisticated lady show in the Wilshire Ebell. And we saw her and we went backstage and she asked me, what did I want to do with my life? And I sat on her lap. She was such a sweet lady. And I said, I want to be a singer when I grow up. She's like, really? And she's like, what do you want to sing? I said, I want to sing R&B, soul, pop, gospel, country, world music. And she was like, how do you know about all this? I told her, I just know that I want to do it. And I said, I've been playing the piano since I was 6 and I've been singing since I was 4 and I write music too. And she was like, you write music? I said, yeah, I write music. So she said, she looked at me and she had like a country drawl when she spoke. And she said, you could do anything in the world you want to do, baby. And I said, oh, I was just like, I was so touched because I loved when she sang Stormy Weather. I was familiar with her work, even though I was so young, because my parents would watch things like that and my brothers. So I knew at a young age that I wanted to be a singer. And I loved Mahalia Jackson. I had a passion for Minnie Riperton and I loved the Clark sisters. But I have to say that the number one for me was Leontine Price. And so I knew that I wanted to sing multiple things because I was playing classical piano and gospel and jazz as well. Very young age.
Yeah, it seems like Lena Horne was absolutely right because you've worked across so many genres, as you said, jazz, gospel, R&B, opera. What draws you to such versatility, and how do you decide which projects to take on?
That's a very good question. My producers they're in their 30s, and one is in his early 40s, and they are they're very like open, which I like. Very open, very creative. And sometimes, I work with those two, Brandon Ford and Devin Shaw. And then I work with my other producer, Walter Thompson. And I've known him. We grew up together. And I have to say, they come up with songs that are passionate, inspirational. And sometimes, we just listen to it. We create a track. We create tracks ourselves, by the way, because we do work with other artists as well. And we meet on Fridays and we'll listen to the track and then we'll feel what where it's going. And then we'll decide, what's this one going to be about? So my wish is, I always hope to not do so many ballads. I want to do more upbeat songs, because people want to have fun and they want to go to the club and they want to, have a good time. And I notice I do good with songs that are fun that I don't really think about, like Moonlight Chaser. But I also like doing things like It Starts With Me, and I like doing songs like Taking It Back, and I like doing the song I just put out, All of My Help, because it addresses the fire in Los Angeles, the Palisades fire, Altadena, Pasadena fire. It also addresses the things we're dealing with not having a voice, and freedom of speech being attacked. And it speaks about prejudice and things that are going on in the world right now, and us not being unified. And it was important for me, even though I had a love song that we've done that was gorgeous with Spanish guitars and everything, I really, really wanted to put that out. It was important for me to put the other one out, All of My Help, to get the message of love across and to encourage, because so many people are struggling with their mental health. So it was important for me to be a messenger. And the interesting thing is, I wrote this song myself. I didn't want any of my partners to write with me. I was like, I want to write this myself. I often write myself, but I don't mind collaborating with others. But I knew that this had to come from a spiritual place, and God actually was speaking to me with the lyrics. So I'm glad that I had a chance to do that, because it was very freeing for me, personally, when I was writing the song and when I was recording the song, because I just really had a problem with all the ugliness that was going on in the world and the division.
We have to give you your flowers for that, and I'm overjoyed that it's been selected by the Grammy, for consideration, and God willing, it might win a Grammy.
I really hope so, because the honor of it is that I'm up for gospel, best gospel performance or song. But the thing that is really wonderful is that it's also up for social change, which is the Harry Belafonte Award. And oh my God, he was such a pioneer. So it would be an honor, because that's exactly what I was trying to do. I was trying to be socially conscious, and I was trying to be uplifting. God directed me to be uplifting with that song. So winning that, either winning both or just the social change award I would be moved to tears. I'm not going to kid you. I would just be blown away, because I believe it was my mission to create that song at this time. I really do. Well, the thing is, that's so wonderful, is that we go in and we actually create the tracks ourselves, or either one out of the three of us will have a track that's great, and we'll say, let's see what we can do together to make it better, and what we can, feel. And we'll do that, and then we'll name it something. We'll, we're like, okay, what are we thinking here? Is this an ambient song? Is it a smooth breeze or quiet storm type song? And then we go from there. And then, the brainstorming happens, and it just hits, it just flows. And then whatever song that it's meant to be is birthed. And it's an amazing process. I have the same process with Walter when I get with him. And it's incredible. I mean, I cannot be more happy, being blessed to have three people in my life that are incredible producers. Brandon Ford, Devin Shaw, myself, we make up Smooth Soul. But working with Walter Thompson is an amazing experience, because he's very creative as well. And our process is amazing because it just spiritually flows. And it's like when that happens, it's just destined for greatness, I believe.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Smooth Soul. You've given back by mentoring and supporting other artists through Smooth Soul Productions. What advice do you have or do you often give to emerging artists navigating to today's industry?
Well, I tell them that they have to be patient because sometimes it takes 20 years. Sometimes it takes 10 years. Sometimes it takes a year. But I give them the example of Mariah Carey. She had All I Want for Christmas. And she did that on her Merry Christmas album, the first one in 96. That album is like diamond now, and she's done like a couple more Christmas albums, and she has Amazon merch, and she does like 2.8 billion just on All I Want for Christmas. It's amazing. And then she's like, she's incredible. I mean, and people go there and they criticize her and say different things, but the thing is, she's an excellent songwriter. And it's just amazing because it didn't happen right away, but she waited and that song blew up. And now it's like the main song that's played every Christmas. And she's become like, the queen of Christmas. So it's like everything doesn't always happen overnight. And Andre Pittman has taught me that at Enthroned Records, because I signed with him for distribution in 2020 during the pandemic when everything shut down. And I was on a collaboration album with Climax, Tito Puente, Stephanie Angelini, and some other people. And I had Lonely and Moonlight Chaser on the album. And I had an interview done on KJLH, and they played my song Lonely. And I performed on the Gospel Renaissance show with Dietrich Haddon and some other like powerful gospel people, Lecrae, and the Zion Messengers and Marquise, what's his name? Marquise. He's a pastor, Pastor Marquise, and he's a singer, and he does gospel, and his stuff is all over the world, global too. And it was incredible. And I met Dietrich Haddon, and he was like a breath of fresh air. And it was just wonderful. It was just great. And so I have to say that album is what really gave me a breakthrough. And it came out right when the pandemic hit. We went right into shutdown. And so at that time, all people could do was make videos, do concert videos, lives, Facebook lives. And I have to say that song, those two songs were the beginning for me. So, I also birthed Taking It Back during the pandemic. And then in 2022, Ave Maria. And Ave Maria is global. And it first broke in the UK. And it's a version of it that is in minor key. And it's, it's by Caccini. Julio Caccini. And so it's classical, but it's worldwide. It's like one of those types of things that anyone could relate to. They're just talking about Mother Mary. And I tell you, I've sung it at different places, and it touches people to this day. And so I have to say that I have learned that things take time, and it took time for Ave Maria to get the acclaim that it has gotten, received. So I am hopeful that that's going to happen with all the rest of my songs as well. And, patience is really key, because you could get really frustrated in this industry because of how the streaming is. And, you don't really make a lot of money off of the music itself. You make money off of merch, and you make money off of touring. So you have to be creative and get really good gigs, tour, do these types of things, and create merch. I'm working on merch now myself. And you have to do those types of things. And I try to encourage young people to do that and to write as much as they can, because writing is really where the money is at, because you can write for anybody. And, and that's a really important thing. So that's what I try to say to the younger singers and upcoming people.
When you talked about Mariah, that these things take time. You just have to be patient. It's like farming, isn't it?
Oh,
plant a seed.
Oh my goodness, that's the best analogy I've heard. Yes, planting a seed and watching it grow, cultivating it, subtly here and there. And a lot of people want it now. And of course, I'm not going to lie. I've gotten frustrated myself. I've really had those days where I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm ready to throw in the towel. But the passion that I've had for it since I was a kid, it makes me stick in the game. I mean, and I've actually got to work with some powerhouses like Barbra Streisand, a few members of Earth, Wind and Fire, and Wynton Marsalis, just to say a few. And I have to say that, Charles Jenkins, who's a wonderful worship leader and who's also a pastor like Dietrich Haddon, and his music's amazing. And when you work with people like that, you see that they are not only professional and they have good work ethic, they have had a process. They've had a process and they've made it work, So you have to find out what works, and you have to get with the right people. And that's key too, getting with the right people and networking with the right people, even in the Grammy community, just networking. And you have to be open to that, because you can't just do this by yourself. It has to be a circle of network, a circle of friends and a network. So that's what I've definitely learned, is that, and that I stay humble and know that God is in control, not Latrice. That's a very important thing, because you will be humbled if you're arrogant. So I try to always keep that in check as well. It's important. Yeah.
Talking about collaborations, what would be your dream collaboration today, living or gone? If you were to choose someone to collaborate with, who might that be and why?
Oh my God. I have always, I've been sad ever since Luther passed. That is one man that I wanted to do a duet with. Oh my God. He is, to this day, he's my favorite singer to this day, my favorite tenor. I would have to say that. He's amazing. But if I could I have met B. Slade before. B. Slade is one of the most amazing producers, the most amazing singers, especially live. He's a friend of mine, and I actually went to his last show last year, and it blew me away at Catalina Bar and Grill. He's the sweetest person ever. I mean, he's so down to earth.
He's amazing.
And he's
I remember back in the day when he came on the scene with Tonne.
Yes.
Tonne. That was like one album that changed for me in terms of gospel music. Listening to Commissioned, they changed things, and the Winans. But when Tonne came on, I was like, wow.
Because he had all kinds of just things thrown in the pot with the gospel.
Yeah.
And you felt the connection that he had to God.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I mean, and he says people criticize him because he's different and he has a different approach to things. I told him, keep doing you. Do not let anybody tell you any different. You are unique, and it doesn't matter what other people think, as long as you and God have an understanding about your perspective and people hear it in your songs. I mean, it speaks for itself. So I'm always encouraging him. And when I met him, I gave him this huge hug. And he's just, like I said, he's just an incredible guy. He really is. So, I mean, that's the kind of people I want to work with. People that are unique, incredible. His voice has no limits, you know, because his range is outstanding. I even want to work with some ladies in the business, you know, because there's some ladies that are just ridiculous too. What's her name? She's like really amazing. Her name is what is it? Kiki Wyatt.
Kiki Wyatt, yeah.
Oh my God. That is a singing young lady, that one. She can sing. Her and Lettrice, they can blow. And when you get opportunities to sing with a group of women that can sing like that,
yeah,
or just a duet, it's a gift from God when that happens. Absolutely. And I've been able to work with some of my colleagues. You know, you might be familiar with there's a young lady, and she sings a song called "Thief in the Night."
Right. And
Letitia Carrington.
All right. Yes.
She's a really good friend of mine, and she sang at a show I did last year in Anaheim, the Stuffed Potato. And she sang "A Dream" by DeBarge. Oh my goodness. Bunny DeBarge would have been proud. And I actually know her. She would have been proud. And she sung from her heart. And so did Kedrick. You know, his name is Kedjo as an artist. But he can sing too. I mean, it's like some people I know in my circle that are just incredible. Just they can just sing for absolutely no reason, and their range is ridiculous. So whenever I see that, I applaud people, I celebrate them, and I just encourage them to keep going. You know, keep going, keep doing more. So I love that. I love seeing people that are wonderful and collaborating with them and being in the audience and clapping for them. It makes such a big difference. I'm not just a singer, I'm a supporter, you know, so that's important.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And, I was just thinking, B Slade, he's still waiting for him to come on to the show. It was meant to have come on a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember. I think there was a clash with some of the performances he was doing. So, I'll need to reach out to him again.
Oh yeah, he's incredible. I mean, I definitely let me know. I'm gonna tune in because he's great.
He is.
And then the fact that he does he does background vocals. He arranges them for Janet Jackson. It makes such a big difference because when you hear like "Funny How Time Flies," or you hear "Some Days Tonight," or "Come Back to Me," the vocals are rich and just lush, and it has that B Slade mark on it. You could just tell. I'm stacked very well. It's just wonderful, you know, and it's just great, you know. So I love the fact that he works with old school artists too, Ann Nesby's granddaughter. He's worked with Shirley Ralph, her Christmas album.
Yes.
I said I would love to collaborate with him because he makes things come to life, you know. So, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm just looking now at your recognitions. You've received multiple awards, not just for music. What does it mean to you to balance artistry with service to others?
I have like at least 3 humanitarian awards because I believe in giving to others and I believe in uplifting others with my music. And I received an Ella Fitzgerald Award from from the city of Los Angeles, and one from KJLH as well because I sang for at least 8 shows for them. And, and I have 3 Enthroned awards, and I have an award from the BMA award, and that was during It was a Verge Award, and that was actually during the pandemic. So I was very proud of that because I, had some really good people in company with me. Cy Smith and some other singers, and, just, wonderful singers were in the same, category. And so I am very proud of those awards. And in Central Stars, I have 2 awards from there. So I'm just happy. I'm waiting for my Grammy.
I'm sure it's coming.
I'm waiting for my
It's
Grammy.
on the way.
And also I'm waiting for my Emmy or my Tony, because I act too.
Yeah.
And I'm in a series.
I was going to touch on that one.
Right.
Mahogany Hamilton, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Okay. So she's a woman, and she has 2 beautiful children. One's 9, one's 14. And she has a boy and a girl, and she's married. Has a devout Christian. They have a home. They're struggling with the mortgage, and she's working in a group home, and she gets laid off. And basically, her best friends that she grew up with devises a plan to pay off her loan and actually have her come on board to be in the business department. And, they have a stylist enterprise they're building. So not only do they dress people and, and they get people prepared, stars and different people they dress, but they also do hair and, cosmetology and so forth. So she is stunned because one of her best friends comes home, and this is Alisa. And Essence, her other best friend, doesn't tell her. Alisa comes home, and she basically devises the plan and basically lets her know, hey, you don't have to worry about your bill. I took care of it. And I'm like, what? She took care of the mortgage. My husband was in on it and everything. My TV husband. And it's incredible. And they basically support each other in their relationships with their children. And it's a positive outlook on Black women, which I like, and it shows the business side of them. And, sometimes we have negative connotations on TV shows. And I wanted to be on something that was positive, and about mothers and, and friends that get together, they get along, and they're in a business together. So I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm really happy that DeAndre Little gave me this chance from DLC Concepts. And he's working with a network, Royal K Network. And they are really great. They have a TV network, and we're trying to, I can't give it away, but we're trying to actually get noticed by a major network. Right. And so, we have gotten rave reviews about the first episode. We did have to replace 3 of the cast members. Sometimes that happens. So we start filming again next year. So I'm excited about it. I don't want to give too much away, but we have a couple of surprise guests. What was her name? Paula J. Parker. She's going to be on. And Melba Moore, who is a legend, is going to be on. And she plays my grandmother. So it's going to be really delightful. I'm looking forward to it. She's a wonderful lady. She's a really nice lady. I like her a lot. And it's really great. And I can't think of her name, but her name is Sherry. And she was on Punky Brewster. She was her best friend.
Right.
She's now the executive producer of the show. So it's very exciting. It's very exciting.
I know you can't give away too much. Will this be available on any streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon?
Now, we're working on that.
Right.
But we are available on Roku and Apple TV. Right. And then also, if you go directly to the link, if you go directly to www. Royal K Network.
Right.
It's on there as well. So we are on those right now. but
And
he is in talks with a couple of companies. So we're excited. So the first episode is available on Royal K Network, and it's really cool. And then I know that next year we have so many different things planned for the show. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting.
you've toured abroad and shared your music on international platforms. How does performing globally shape the way you see music as a universal language?
Oh my goodness. I remember when we went to the Netherlands and I performed at one of the newest, I can't think of the name of it right now, but it was one of the newest at the time. It was like a beautiful, beautiful performance room. And it looked like something out of a book, an opera, where they have operas. And everything was like this plush burgundy upholstery, and it was gold, and it was beautiful, gorgeous. And it was in Amsterdam. And I performed there, and it was packed. It was just huge. They were in the balcony. They were on the floor. It was just wonderful. And I remember I sang with a 200-member choir, and I sang 2 solos. And I sang, one of the solos was For Every Mountain. And when I tell you that they received me and they received that choir so well, it's such a difference when you travel abroad. Even when I sang in Greece, the appreciation was just so amazing, And we were supposed to be going to Japan next year, and it's going to be rescheduled. I can't give it away yet. We're supposed to be going somewhere else instead. But I am so excited about it because when you travel and you meet different people, they really appreciate the music, and they appreciate you being there and visiting from out of town. And it's such a difference. And I'm not saying that the States is terrible. I'm not saying that. But we are too laid back. We've gotten too relaxed. We don't know how to really show our appreciation for raw and real music. And when you go to the UK and you go different places abroad, I feel that you're celebrated more and that they have a good ear, for good music. So I like traveling. I like singing abroad. It's a wonderful experience. It's wonderful to meet different people and new people and different cultures. And I have to say that's probably going to be the highlight of my life. That's going to be major for me, going to different countries, because I love it. I do. I love it. Plus I speak French. So I have to say, I've been hinting to everybody, book me in France, book me in France. Because I love, French cuisine and everything. So, I really want to go there so bad. So I'm looking forward to being booked there. I really am.
Well, it's out in the universe now. So, yeah.
Yep, it is.
So having said all that, what do you hope your legacy will be in music and beyond?
Well, I'm hoping that my music will touch people, heal people. I have a family member right now who's struggling with cancer. And my hope is that my music will heal not only the people in my family, but will heal people all over the world. And that's what my main focus is. I want to be a vessel, and I want to be an instrument of God where people could be touched who've been broken. And that's really important to me. A lot of times we're like, oh, I want to hit this note and I want it to be perfect and this and that. But when it all boils down to it, it's really about, matters of the heart that matter, and touching people, because we've had a rough 5 years. We really have. We've had a rough 5 years. So people are still recovering from that. And I really want to bring hope to communities and such. So that's my goal. That's my goal. That's why I try to be played in different parts of the world. And, you know, and I'm working on some other things so that my music can go even broader. And, you know, it's just important to me, the message. That's more important than anything to me, is the message.
Amazing. So before we wrap up and ask you to introduce your latest single, we've got a few fun questions. So the first question is, when you are not singing or acting, what's one hobby or guilty pleasure that keeps you grounded?
Oh, wow. You got to believe this. I have a product. It's called the Lettrice Lawrence collection. I like to make jewelry, and I'm not wearing anything I've created. I should be ashamed of myself. But I have jewelry I make. I make things with metal. I make things out of silver. I make things with beads of all sorts and color, texture. I make bracelets, earrings, necklaces. So I have fun with that. It's not just a pastime, but I sometimes wear it, you know, and people don't even know, and I have to like tell them. So it's a brand for me, but it's also a stress reliever, and it's fun. It's really, really fun. I really enjoy it. And I used to go to flea markets years ago and find rare brooches and rare jewelry and things like that. But I don't do it as much as I used to. But I definitely like to make pieces. And then if I have a brooch that's old school or old or from the 20s or something like that, I'll put it on the necklace or things or on the bracelets or something, or on the earrings, just to give it a nice little touch. So I like doing that. And of course, I like writing too. Writing is like one of my things, because when I was at Mount St. Mary's College, I was a music major, and I also doubled in English literature. I ended up getting it as a minor, but I was like 2 units away from having a double major, you know, so I was always a nerd in school. But I really enjoyed literature and history and things of that nature. So I love to read and I love to write. So I would say that that's another avenue for me.
Oh, that's brilliant. And if you could describe your voice as a flavor or a dish, what would it be?
Ooh, okay. That's interesting. Okay. If I was going to compare it to a dessert, I would say something caramel with maybe a little bit of like buttercream, and then I would say marble cake, something real sweet.
Right.
And then as a dinner, I would say a brilliant shrimp dish. A brilliant shrimp dish that was rich and had vegetables, you know, really, really hearty, but down home. That's what I would say.
Right.
Something like that. Something like that.
All right. And what's the funniest or most unexpected thing that's ever happened to you on stage?
Oh, now that's funny. The funniest thing that's ever happened to me on stage. Well, the funniest thing that's ever happened to me on stage is that I forgot the first few, the second verse of "Forget Me Not." So no one knew, because it was such a fast song. My best friend laughed because he said I thought she was speaking in another language, but I played it off and kept going. And the thing is, I was mad at myself because I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I've studied this song day and night." But I kept going. I kept going. And I tell anybody, if you're going to do that, to keep going smile and play it off. I'm glad that Patrice Rushen wasn't in the audience because I would have fainted. But it's something that happens, and you have to keep going. I tell everybody that you keep going, because if you don't, you will be embarrassed, and everyone else will be embarrassed, your background singers and the band and everyone. But no one would have ever known, because I played it off, and it was so fast that nobody detected it. And then, of course, my producers were like, "We heard you," and they were laughing. It kept going. You know.
Yeah.
So that's the funniest thing that's ever happened.
Oh, that's amazing. And it's been so wonderful having you back here on Indie Soul Rhythms, and we really appreciate your time. But before we let you go, can you do us the honor of introducing your latest single to our listeners in your own words?
This song is near and dear to me. It speaks about people who lost things in the fire. And it speaks about people who are brokenhearted, people that are dealing with racism. And this is a song that will bless you and will uplift you. And this is something dear from my heart that God gave me the words and inspiration for all of my help.
Thank you very much.